TroopzTV presented by Barstool Sports. Arsenal 4, Leeds 2. The player ratings. Let's start with in Gates, Bernd Leno. Troopz rating.
In goal, Bernd Leno. Didn't really have a lot to do. You get me? The 2 goals that Leeds scored, he couldn't really do nothing about them, if we're being honest. The corner, the man's just made a run, and Luiz, we marked zone, isn't it? So it's going to be hard for him to get up off his feet from a standing position. He's coming in at pace, running. You get me? Obviously, you got Saka marking him. We have to ask the question as well, why are the smallest players always marking the biggest players? Like, when Tierney was in the team, Tierney was marking Dunk at fucking Brighton, blood. Do you understand? It's just ridiculous, bro. You get me? But Leno, I'll give a 7 today.
Let's go left back.
Cedric, I'll give a 4. You get me? It was below average. You get me? It wasn't the worst performance. I've seen worse from him. But, yeah, it wasn't nothing to really sing about today.
Centre backs, Gabriel,
I will give a 8. I think he was very solid today. He looks like he's getting his fitness back. You understand? Ball distribution is immense, bro. You get me? The way he brings it forward from the back and he just pushes it straight into the flipping. He pushes it beyond the midfield. You understand? He gets it straight to the likes of Saka, Smith Rowe, and then man there. You get me? Good to see Gabriel back to more. You get me? Back to looking how he's supposed to look. You get me? So an 8 for Gabs today.
His partner, fellow countryman, David Luiz.
Luiz, I give a 7. You get me? Can't really blame him for the goal. You understand? Because he's positioning and whatnot. You get me? But I think out of the 2 defenders, the 2 centre-backs, Gabriel was the better one. You get me? Luiz, his short passing was good, but he was giving it away enough when he was going long. You get me? Just going long, trying to hit Saka, not getting Saka, trying to hit Auba. You get me? You know Auba's not the kind of man to hold up the ball. He's not lacquer. You get me? So, 7.
Gets him behind. Left back. No, we did left back. Right back, Hector Bellerin.
Bellerin, I give a 7. Bit of a shaky start, but he looked much better today. You understand? He looked a bit shaky in the last 2 games, if we're being honest. You understand? His ball, his distribution was poor against Man United as well. But today, he done well. Defensively, he didn't really get caught out. You understand? Took his goal well. Took his goal very well, blood. You understand? Rasped it bottom corner. Yeah, 7 for Bellerin.
The midfielders, our 2 midfielders. Let's start with Granit Xhaka.
Xhaka, I give a 6. You get me? I think he was a bit sloppy at the start. You understand? And he was holding the ball too much, blood. He wasn't releasing it quick enough. You get me? And he kind of got overrun a couple times. You feel me? So, yeah, I give Xhaka a 6, sorry.
And then his partner for the day, Danny Ceballos.
Ceballos, I give an 8. I think Ceballos had a great game. You understand? Started off great. You understand? Commanding the midfield, wanting the ball distribution on point. Lovely assist, blood. You understand? Close your legs, blood. Yeah? Close your rotted legs, blood. Straight through, blood. Man done the hole in one, fam. Barstool golf, blood. Hole in one, brother. You get me? Hole in one, bro. You understand? 8 for Ceballos, blood.
All right, to the 3 guys behind the striker. Let's start with Martin Odegaard.
I'll give Odegaard I'll give him a 7. You get me? He just hits a 7 as well. For me, it was like a 6.9, but 7, innit? You get me? Started off a bit slow, but once he came into his own, he knows how to pass the ball. You get me? And he picks the right pass. You understand? There was a lot of moves that he started. You get me? So, or was heavily involved in. So yeah, I give Odegaard a 7.
On to, let's go, Emil Smith Rowe.
Smith Rowe, I give a 7 as well. You get me? He always works hard. You understand? Maybe a bit lucky to get the assist. You get me? Because it was a terrible shot, but a great cross. You understand? But he did get himself an assist. His first one for 5 games as well. He's been a bit quiet. Today, he looked more like himself. You get me? Like he had more energy today. He looked a bit tired in recent weeks. You get me? He's a young man. He hasn't played as much football at this level. But yeah, today I think he done well. 7.
Last of the 3, Bukayo Saka.
Saka gets a 9. You understand? Saka gets a 9, bruv. You get me? It was an amazing performance, blood. I was saying it's a joy and a privilege and an honor to have this kid as our player, blood. You get me? Like we have one of the baddest young prospects in world football. Not just Premier League football, not just European football, world football, blood. This kid is the future for England and the future for Arsenal, blood. Bukayo Blood Clot Saka, 9.
Our man up top, Mr. Hattrick, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
This is the thing. I can't give him more than Saka. You get me? But I want to win it, but I can't. So Auba gets a 9 as well. You get me? But Saka will get the man of the match, but they both get a 9. You get me? Hat-trick, first hat-trick, captain's performance. He was running down the defenders, pressing, because he's not a man that's going to talk on the pitch. You get me? He's not like a Tony Adams or a Vieira that's going to, you get me? He's like a Henry. You have to lead by example on the pitch. You get me? And today he led by example. Very nice for him to get his first hat-trick ever for the club in the Premier League. You get me? Hopefully his mum's doing better. You can clearly tell she is because his head's in the game now, innit? His head's been more involved in the family, which is totally understandable. That's your mum, innit? You only get one mum at the end of the day. You get me? But Obama Blood Clot Yang gets a 9, fam.
Before we go on to the manager, let's do the bench. That's what I was saying. Before we do the manager, let's go on to the bench. Willian, first man off.
4.
All right. Mo El-Neni.
He done all right when he come on. He got about. You get me? Made himself like a little Yorkshire Terrier. You get me? Running around, just you get me? But standard 5.
Last of the subs, Rob Holding.
Yeah, he came on for like 2 minutes just to literally get man through that little 5-minute spell. You get me? So standard 5.
The manager.
I would have given him a 9, but I'd have to give him probably an 8 because the Willian substitution. You get me? Like, why are you bringing him on before Martinelli, bro? Like, if it really is a thing where we have to play him because he's got this clause inserted in his contract, then Edu, you're a fucking arsehole. Whoever was involved in that deal is a fucking arsehole. You get me? And you've put Arteta in a position that he shouldn't be in. You get me? So, yeah, we'll give Arteta an 8 for today.
Last but not least, the ref.
The ref can go fuck himself like every other referee in the Premier League, like every other referee in world football. You man are corrupt. I don't know how you sleep at night. You understand? Hopefully, your partners, you get me? You go home to your wife. Hopefully, your wife don't give you no pum-pum. You understand? Hopefully, you're sleeping on your fucking driveway. You understand? You don't even deserve to sleep on the fucking snow on the sofa tonight. You deserve to sleep on a hard, cold, dirty, coronavirus up floor, blood. Yeah, fuck you, man.
And that's the ratings for Arsenal versus Leeds.